And the Afro-Latin Cougaritas. Good morning, Africa. It's Robbie Vincent, Jazz Travels at the new 9 o'clock time on a Sunday morning. We're off to Morocco, and we're going to be going to various places in the country. Starting off in Tangier, we'll be hearing a lot more African jazz and jazz with an Arabic influence as we explore Morocco. Now, we found a man who loved his country so much, he moved to London to make sure that the rest of the world shared his enthusiasm for Morocco. His name is Faisal Alawi. He's going to be giving us a guided tour of some of the parts of the country, as I said, starting in Tangier, in northern Morocco, for a little bit of a geography lesson, with a population of about 700,000. It lies on the North African coast at the western entrance to the Strait of Gibraltar, where the Mediterranean meets the Atlantic Ocean. It is a place of mystery during the war, full of spies, full of artists, full of writers. We'll hear more about that later. But here's Faisal to tell us more.
Well, Tangier, we call it the main gate of Africa and the main gate to Morocco. Why? Because of the geographical location of Tangier. Tangier is located only 13 kilometers from Gibraltar and 15 kilometers from Spain, which is like we call it the door of Europe and the door of Africa. Tangier is very, very special as a city, because when Morocco was under the French protectorate and a Spanish colony, Tangier had the status of international city. So Tangier was attracting international people from around the globe to come over to do business both in Morocco and in Africa. So that's why Tangier is very, very attractive for both the Americans, the British, the Europeans, and it's still attracting them. And during the 1950s, the 1960s, Tangier attracted bankers, investors, authors, poets from around the globe. And I can mention that Tangier was the home of Paul Bowles, John Hopkins, and so many other artists. And even Tangier during the 1980s attracted like famous singers and famous group singers like the Rolling Stones. And the Rolling Stones, they went to Tangier to be inspired by the diversity that the international status of Tangier created, and they even went to Tangier to get inspired by the local music of Tangier. So in Tangier you have the music of the Rif Mountains combined with the music from Andalusia and Spain, with the influence of British music, American music and African music. So Tangier is quite unique as a city. There is also a jazz festival, and the jazz festival was established years ago in Tangier just to celebrate the international status of Tangier. And it was supported, first of all, by the American embassy. And afterwards, the people from Tangier absorbed the idea of having a jazz festival, and they start relating themselves to the jazz event. And every year Tangier turns from a very Andalusian and very international city to a city where jazz is the main music for almost a week. And the beauty about it is that when you see that Moroccans themselves interrelate to jazz, and you can see that there is a jazz feast in Tangier during that time. And I really do recommend visiting Tangier during that period, because yes, when you think jazz, you think the US. When you think jazz, you think jazz clubs. But now, when you think jazz and you go to Tangier, you will experience jazz in Africa, jazz in an international city, jazz on the streets, and it's completely different.
Robbie Vincent, Jazz Travels. That means good music, soul, blues, and of course jazz. Ibrahim Malouf, that was Maver in Wonderland. And you can see him in London. Originally from Lebanon, he moved to Paris. And his music and his trumpet playing, strongly inspired by his Arabic culture. He's playing at Richmich Shoreditch in London on the 8th of December. Now, we've heard our guide, Faisal, talking about the international status that Tangier held in the early to mid-20th century, and it became a destination for many European and American diplomats, lots of spies, writers and businessmen. And, of course, it was a place of much intrigue. Some of the foreign immigrants attracted included writer and composer Paul Bowles, playwright Tennessee Williams, the beat writers William S. Burroughs. He lived in Tangier for about 4 years and wrote Naked Lunch there. Allen Ginsberg, Jack Kerouac, George Orwell visited in 1938, and we haven't been there yet. The French painter Matisse made several visits, and in the 1940s, up until 1956, when the city was an international zone, the city served as a playground for eccentric millionaires, a meeting place for secret agents and all kinds of criminals. And during World War II, the Office of the Strategic Services operated out of Tangier for various operations in North Africa, and the OSS was very successful too. To get a real feel of artists and a real feel of some spies, maybe, the oldest hotel in Tangier is the famous Hotel En Minza. Cecil Beaton, Truman Capote and Ian Fleming amongst its former guests. Now, would you like to be the manager of this hotel when the Rolling Stones turned up? Because they stayed there too. From the hotel, Faisal Alawi tells us what he thinks draws people to Tangier.
I think Tangier is very famous because it has a special history, because talking about the Tangier, the international city, so it was one of the famous cities in the Mediterranean. It's very strategic, in the position, geographical position, so these people come because it was a nice city to live at, and they have been an aristocracy, and the life was really enjoyable. So these people like this city because it's a point of meeting of different nationalities, of different mentalities, and the people here in Tangier, the Tangirois, they have this hospitality from many centuries before, because it was a crossing point for different civilizations. So definitely, so we have this heritage, and a point which is between two continents, and European and African continents, and also a point passage like a bridge to the American continent also. So, as I said, the geographical position of the city means that the city is very open to different civilizations. So this heritage is very, very important for people coming to Tangier.
Robbie Vincent with Jazz Travels, and from that wonderful hotel, we're off to Marrakesh in just a moment.
Jazz FM.
With the latest traffic and travel news when you need it, 7 days a week.
I'm Ross Powell with the latest Jazz FM travel. Taking a look first at the M4, it's closed westbound between junction 18 at Bath and junction 19 for Bristol because of an accident. Traffic is still fairly light in the area, but you'll need to follow a diversion symbol which runs via the A46 and the A432. Follow the solid circle signposts. The M4 is suffering from quite a bit of fog this morning as well in that area, so do take care. In Suffolk, the A11 at Barton Mills, that's still closed both ways because of an accident between the Red Lodge turnoff and the junction with Five Ways. And if you're going towards 9 Mile Burn at Midlothian, the A766 there still closed because of a landslip between 9 Mile Burn and Pennyquick. The road expected to stay closed there for some time. The Circle Line in London, that's suspended today for engineering works, as is the Metropolitan Line between Moorgate and Aldgate. If you spot a problem, give us a ring, 0500 59 27 27.
Jazz FM. Listening colour.
A Ministry of Finance announcement on behalf of Mini. Here at the Ministry, we're aware that large monthly payments on a car can be a menace. Down, boy. So, we've worked out a way to bring them down to size. That's better. Enjoy driving a Mini Cooper for just £189 a month plus deposit. Jolly good. For more great deals, visit ministryoffinance.com. 48-month contract hire agreement for Mini Cooper hatch with Mini TLC and Pepper Pack. Deposit £3,939. Contract mileage 32,000 miles. Excess charge 2.5p per mile. Subject to status, over 18s in UK. Participating dealers only. Guarantee may be required. Hire provided by Mini Financial Services. Offer expires 31st December 2012. Ministry of Finance has no connection to any government department.
We've looked her over, sir.
Yes?
It's bad news, I'm afraid.
Really?
Engine working fine, but it's her heart, sir.
Oh, what?
Her heart. All cars have them, and hers is completely broken, combusted into 1,000 pieces. Look at the headlights. You can still see the tear stains, bless her. 5th one this week, sir.
Find out which cars made it and which ones sadly didn't in the Sunday Times Top 100 Cars Guide. Plus, to celebrate the launch of driving.co.uk, your chance to win a Porsche continues free inside the Sunday Times this weekend.
Jazz FM.
Timing is everything, especially when dealing with real estate. At Mishkondareya, we have 50 experts in real estate law, each of whom can help negotiate and successfully complete your deal. Because in real estate, it's crucial you get the timing right and the lawyer right. Mishkondareya. It's business, but it's personal.
Oh, great shaman, we have travelled many miles.
From Slough.
We are young in our learning, but strive to be greener in our workplace, to conserve energy, to save money. Speak your wise words, great shaman.
Kyocera.
Kyocera, the printer-copier people.
Kyocera could save business money with every page you print.
Kyocera.
Minimising queues, less wastage.
£2,000 on return flights for that.
Should have emailed. Kyocera printers. Visit kyocera-document-solutions.com.
Now he tells us.
The nights are drawing in. Winter is just around the corner. So there's no better time to replace your boiler. Right now at British Gas, you'll get £400 trade-in on any new model we install before the 31st of October. Plus, with a range of flexible payment options, we could help you spread the cost. For your £400 boiler trade-in, simply go online or call 0800 754 754. Hurry, this offer ends 31st of October. Look after your world with British Gas. Terms and conditions apply.
John, you're on the air. What do you want to say?
Yeah, it's about the club, mate. It's a mess. It's not ours anymore, is it? Fans. We don't matter. Not only that, the football is rubbish. I mean, really dire. Most of them look like they've never even kicked a ball. And we're supposed to be favourites to go up. You forget promotion. We'll be lucky if we finish in the top half. Tell you. In fact, I hope we don't. You know what? You won't catch me again next season. No chance.
No matter what's bothering you, it's always worth getting it off your chest. Samaritans, 08457 90 90 90.
When you're searching for a used car, we know it's only once you've found the right colour, interior and options, like parking sensors, that you'll arrive at your perfect model. Find yours at our approved used car event right now at your local Audi centre, with exclusive offers and up to 2 years free servicing when you buy with Audi Finance. Visit audi.co.uk/approved used. Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. 12% APR representative. Offer expires 31st of October 2012. Audi Finance.
Hi, this is Jeff Young. I just wanted to tell you about my new shows between 1 and 3 on the weekend afternoons. We'll be on a musical journey through soul and jazz, both old and new, with a look at what's happening gig-wise over the weekend. So don't forget to join me at 1 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday afternoons here on Jazz FM.
This is Jazz FM.
Robbie Vincent, Jazz Travels. That means travel and, of course, good music. Kyle Eastwood and Marrakesh. Our guest showing us around Morocco is number one Morocco fan, Faisal Alawi. So where are we off to now?
Now I will take you to Marrakesh. Marrakesh is the leading tourism destination of Morocco. Marrakesh, it's a complete different experience. You have around 8 daily flights from London to Marrakesh. You fly for 3 hours and you arrive to a complete different culture and a complete different atmosphere. Yes, you forget about the hustle and the buzz of London. You arrive there, it's completely different. Why? Because of two things. Because of the amazing weather that Marrakesh has to offer, and because of the daily culture that Marrakesh has to offer. When you arrive to Marrakesh, don't expect like other destinations to visit museums, to visit static culture. The culture in Marrakesh is very daily, and it represents the daily livelihoods of people. And I do recommend to start your visit in Marrakesh by visiting the Jam El Fna Square. It is one of the oldest squares on earth, and it is one of the squares that was created to create a city atmosphere. And you have, in this square, you have storytellers, you have musicians, you have snake charmers, you have people selling you fresh orange juice, you have local food court, you have fortune tellers. And it's a square that represents Marrakesh in its reality, that represents Marrakesh in its daily life. So I always recommend to people to start their experience in Marrakesh by visiting the square. Afterwards, I recommend people to visit the souks and the Medina. Ladies, for you shopping, Marrakesh is the place. If you are planning like Christmas shopping, and if you are planning to visit Marrakesh, stop by the souks. But what I always tell people and what I always ask people to do while visiting Morocco or while visiting Marrakesh, don't try to exclude yourself from the daily culture. If you want to understand the country, if you want to feel the country, you have to interrelate to the people, you have to communicate with the people, and you have to be part of the experience, not excluded from the experience. In terms of music, Marrakesh geographically is located between the center of Morocco and the Atlas Mountains. And as I told you, the daily aspects, the daily culture of Marrakesh made its music to be influenced by the local culture. And Morocco, we organize a very, very big festival called the Festival of Popular Art. And it is organized the second week of June every year. And it's like a parade of different regions around Marrakesh celebrating their popular music and their popular art. So I'm telling you, if you are in Marrakesh during the second week of June, please experience the Popular Art Festival.
Now, where we're going to go to next? Well, we're moving to the coastal town of Essaouira, where 60s musicians such as Jimi Hendrix and Joni Mitchell famously passed through. And that reminds me of the hippies living up in the mountains, one of the popular places in the world to be able to indulge your habit of wacky-backy was to disappear up into the Rift Mountains. And there are a lot of hippie communes up there, and you'd go in a long line, you know, all these thoroughly respectable Europeans, and there were all these naughty bohemian long-haired people painting and making pottery and smoking huge joints. All part of the colour and the culture of one stage of the development of Morocco. So, Faisal, what about this place that attracted so many 60s musicians like Hendrix and Mitchell?
The town of Essaouira is a seaside city with a very big fortress. And the fortress was built to protect the city from the invaders. And you have the seaside and you have the old Medina. The old Medina is the old part of the city which was created between walls just to protect the local population. And the old Medina is divided between the Muslim quarter and the Jewish quarter. Essaouira also has the African influence. Why? Because when it was a Portuguese colony, the Portuguese created a port there, Mogador, from where they used to take slaves from Africa to either the US or Europe. And the slaves used to live, before making the journey to Europe or to the US, they used to live in Essaouira for a long period. So they brought with them their African music style. And this mix of Portuguese, Jewish and African music created what we call the Gnawa music. And now in Morocco we do celebrate, we do organize a very, very big festival called the International Gnawa Festival. And the International Gnawa Festival is a chance for Moroccan Gnawa musicians to play their art, but at the same time to mix their art with international musicians. So now you have musicians coming from the US, from Britain, to play their music and to mix it with the Gnawa music. And the festival is organized every first week of June, and I do recommend people visiting the city during the festival. When you visit Essaouira, you can feel the Portuguese architectural style. You can see the walls, the casbahs and everything with a Portuguese style. After the Portuguese left, Essaouira became the Moroccan Jewish capital. And when you walk inside Essaouira, you can see that there is an area where the Moroccan Jewish community called Mellah. And you can see even houses, most of the houses, they have the Cross of David outside of them and everything. There's a very beautiful Jewish synagogue, and even the Jewish people now, they come to visit Essaouira quite a lot.
Robbie Vincent, Jazz Travels, and we'll be hearing some of the influences of Gnawa music, the music style anyway, on some of the artists currently making good tunes after the break.
Jazz FM.
With the latest traffic and travel news when you need it, 7 days a week.
With the latest Jazz FM travel, I'm Ross Powell. Starting with the M4, the road is closed westbound because of an accident between junction 18 at Bath and junction 19 for Bristol. There is a diversion which takes in the A46 and the A432. You need to follow the solid circle signposts. If you're going towards Hanford in Staffordshire, the A34 reports of an abnormal load being transported southbound along that stretch, so expect possible delays. Quite a bit of fog around this morning. It's particularly affecting the M1 in Leicestershire as you go towards junction 18 at Rugby. Looking very foggy there and poor visibility. At Midlothian, the A766 as is closed at the moment because of a landslip between 9 Mile Burn and Pennyquick. In London, the Circle Line is suspended because of engineering works, and Merseyrail is disrupted between Hunts Cross and Liverpool Central because of a signal failure. If you spot a problem, call 0500 59 27 27.
Jazz FM. Listening colour.
We've looked her over, sir.
Yes?
It's bad news, I'm afraid.
Really?
Engine working fine, but it's her heart, sir.
Oh, what?
Her heart. All cars have them, and hers is completely broken, combusted into 1,000 pieces. Look at the headlights. You can still see the tear stains, bless her. 5th one this week, sir.
Find out which cars made it and which ones sadly didn't in the Sunday Times Top 100 Cars Guide. Plus, to celebrate the launch of driving.co.uk, your chance to win a Porsche continues free inside the Sunday Times this weekend.
Jazz FM.
Jazz FM. Explore Australia with Oz Travel and Qantas, the spirit of Australia, using the Qantas Walkabout Pass.
Oz Travel are the experts in providing tailor-made holidays to Australia. They are home to innovative travel designers who all have first-hand experience of Australia. So let them help you get the best from your holiday and plan your perfect trip down under.
If you want to see the best of Australia's wildlife, there's plenty on offer. After all, it's the only place in the world you'll see native kangaroos, emus or dingoes, and plenty of koalas.
Why not visit Tasmania? Take advantage of our 10-day Explore Tasmania package. Hit the road and enjoy Australia's only island state. And as 40% of this beautiful island is protected national park, you'll get a park pass to ensure you see it all. You'll find breathtaking natural beauty and untouched landscapes. Visit Tasmanian Devils at Cradle Mountain and see seals and dolphins at Bruny Island.
If sunshine and relaxation is more your thing, we do that too. With over 50 miles of golden beaches, we don't call it the Gold Coast for nothing, you know. It's one of the most spectacular places on earth, whether you want to relax or jump in and go surfing.
Fly with Qantas from London Heathrow to Sydney or Melbourne and experience comfort and style on board the award-winning Qantas A380. These and many other Oz Travel Australian experiences can be found online at jazzfm.com. So head online before you head down under.
Enjoy Australia with Oz Travel.
We don't just go there, we know there.
And Jazz FM.
Discover Shakespeare's world in a spectacular exhibition at the British Museum, open now until the 25th of November. London as it was 400 years ago is dramatically brought to life through amazing objects and contemporary performance. The exhibition, in collaboration with the Royal Shakespeare Company and supported by BP, will highlight Shakespeare's importance at the time and reveal how his work remains relevant today. Book your tickets for Shakespeare, Staging the World, on 020 7323 8181 or visit britishmuseum.org.
There's £500 off style collection sofas at DFS. But not for long. Hurry, savings end this Sunday. DFS, making every day more comfortable.
Jazz FM, listening colour.
Babisa Roberto Fonseca from his highly acclaimed album Yo. He was a guest on Jazz Travels. If you missed him, I hope as we move towards Christmas and the New Year period, we'll have another opportunity to revisit him, that fine album, and his musical influences. There's a track on that Yo album called Gnawa Stop, and that's the style of music that you heard Faisal talking about a little bit earlier on. Now we continue our tour with Faisal Alawi, the #1 Morocco fan in Europe, with a look at the city of Fez.
Fez is the oldest city of Morocco, of more than 1,200 years. Fez, the experience is completely different. You visit Fez and you feel that you are back in the past, that you are back in a very medieval city. Fez has the largest Medina in the world, and you can get lost in the Medina without a guide. The feeling I have in Fez every time I visit it, I have this feeling that, unlike other cities, in Fez, the present is the past is the present is the future is the past. Everything is mixed. You walk into the Medina and you can see people like working their handicraft, and trust me, those people, they've been doing the same thing for generations, for the last 12 or 10 centuries. So Fez is a very, very medieval city. And Fez is the religious capital of Morocco and has the oldest Islamic school in the Muslim world, which is called Al-Qarawiyyin School. And this school was a school that was created by a woman. And can you imagine that during that time, in the Islamic world, a school created, the oldest school in the Islamic world was created by a woman? That was a sign that Morocco was completely different than other Muslim countries, that the acceptance of women to rule and women to participate in the daily life was something well established in Morocco before other countries. So that's why Fez has a lot to offer in terms of culture and in terms of medieval culture. In terms of music, this medieval aspects and this religious aspects of Fez made Fez to be the place where the Sacred World Music Festival is organized. And every year, Fez invites artists from around the globe to play the religious music. Either is it Jewish music, a Sufi music, a Hindu music, and it creates a complete atmosphere of tolerance and peace. So it is worth to visit Fez during the festival. Why? Because it will give you a chance to view one of the oldest Islamic cities and to view the tolerance of this city and the tolerance of the people of Fez from a complete different perspective. Now I will take you to Rabat. Rabat is the capital of the Kingdom of Morocco. Rabat was established as a UNESCO heritage city a few months ago. And Rabat has been the capital of Morocco for the last century. Rabat is a changing city. It is a mix of modernity and heritage. And when you visit Rabat, you can see that the design and style is a mix of Art Deco, Muslim style, and modern design. But this sense of modernity, this sense of mix between modernity, Art Deco, design and everything, pushed Rabat to think outside of the box And people responsible for promoting culture in the city of Rabat said, okay, we have this mix between modernity and heritage and design. So what we have to do? And a few years ago, we started organizing the Mawazin Music Festival. And the Mawazin Music Festival, it's a festival that attracts international singers from around the world. We invite Arab and Muslim musicians as well. For example, all the famous Arab singers, they come to Mawazin to celebrate their music in Rabat, and the city turns to be a very open stage. And you have different stages around the city, and where people can enjoy music for free. So Moroccans can enjoy Lionel Richie for free, can enjoy Arab singers for free, they can enjoy like the Spanish musicians for free. And it's a festival that, first of all, we organized it to give people from Rabat and from Morocco the chance to experience the international famous musicians for free. And it's one of the few cities in the world where you can enjoy a concert for free in Rabat, UK. And it's the festival, it's organized by the end of May every year, and Rabat, turns to be chaotic during that time.
Our thanks to Faisal, and the music, Byron Wallen and Malem, and that comes from an album called Meeting Ground. And he manages to combine his feeling of jazz with that of Arabic music. And indeed, you heard about Sufi music from Morocco. There's a huge element of it in this particular album, critically acclaimed. So if you want that musical experience and to hear a combination of cultures, Moroccan and European jazz, the Byron Wallen album is a good album to explore. Ahead of Essential Rhythms after the news at 10, we've got one to go on Jazz Travels. It's a track called Tarifa. It's featured on the album Sketches of Africa from Antonio Forcioni, and a wonderful album it is. And this particular track, it was inspired by sitting in Tarifa, right on the cliff's edge. And Tarifa is the southernmost point of Spain. You look across the Straits of Gibraltar. What do you see? Morocco. And he said it inspired this music. Antonio Forcioni, and Antonio will be our guest in 3 weeks' time, and he is absolutely not to be missed. A fantastic journey through Africa from a really, really fine album. Robbie Vincent, that has been Jazz Travels. Next week, we'll be joining Wynton Marsalis. We'll be hearing about jazz at the Lincoln Center. We'll be hearing some of the great people who played at St. Regis, Manhattan. I mean, that really does have a jazz tradition. And the first jazz club connected to the Lincoln Center to be opened outside of America is in Doha. It's in Qatar. We'll be hearing all about that next week.
Jazz Travels on Jazz FM, in partnership with Virgin Holidays Cruises, where they can organise your travel to and from the airport in a chauffeur-driven car. Just another way Rockstar Service gives you more. English National Opera presents Mozart's Don Giovanni at the London Coliseum from the 17th of October until the 17th of November with Jazz FM. Mozart's wickedly seductive opera follows the last 24 hours